Now what I'm using is number 8 2.5-inch screws. They're decking screws, and I'm using liquid nails because I don't want this coming apart ever. So, I mean, it's a little heavy duty. Although it says heavy duty, you literally only need some wood glue to make sure these don't come apart. But I'm gonna go a little overboard because I don't know, why not? I always want to make sure it's square. I'm gonna leave this. I mean, you technically don't need it once that you got the glue and the screws in. It's not going anywhere. All right. So I went to Lowe's and I had them cut these. I got a 12-foot piece and I had them cut it into 36-inch sections. So I got 4 out of 1 piece. I pre-drilled my holes on the side. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick this in here, C-clamp it, and make sure that it stays. We also wanna check the level, make sure that it's level before we bolt it in. So now what I did is I put the top on, and then I put these clamps underneath just to hold it in place. So you can see I pre-drilled the holes already. Put some clamps on all 4 corners to hold it up. That way I can put my level on the top, make sure that it's level, and then screw it down. What I did is I measured from here to the bottom. It's 29 inches. The weight of the aquarium will rest on these and transfer down into this one, transfer into the base. I'm gonna glue and screw this one down, and then I gotta put one on the front, and I'm gonna do that all around all 4 corners. Well, it's all done. I got all 4 corners done, all the way around. I'm not worried about these holes. At first I thought I had to plug them up with wood filler, but I'm actually gonna put a face on all these sides. Alright, so now I'm putting the sides and the front panel on. I have my super duper don't come off during earthquake adhesive that I'm putting on first. Use some finishing nails to hold it in place so it doesn't go anywhere. Now I have my router. I have a flush cutter on, so I'm just going to go around the edges and it's going to cut this edge flush. Remember, always wear your hearing and eye protection. I have hearing protection but not eye protection. Don't do what I do. That's done. I'm gonna go ahead and finish tacking the rest of this. Alright, so I got the face plate on. I got the 2 sides and the face on. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole in this corner here so that I can get my router bit through. You can see I put the bottom in, and we're going for more of like a farmhouse look. So these are a bunch of 1x2s. Oh no, I'm sorry. These are a bunch of 1x3s, and I do have a 1x2 here, so that it actually comes out perfect and makes just a small lip over the top. Yeah, I got to fill in this little, and then what will happen is it'll make a slight little lip underneath here. Yes, I got to fill in this crack on the corner. Then what I'm going to do is I've got the top cut. I'm going to drill pocket holes on each of these so it tightens it up, and then fasten this from the bottom. So there we go, the top's done. This little 2-inch piece though, it's not straight, so when I did it, it kind of bowed the top, but when I pull that down, it's gonna be all right. So you can see it just bows up just a hair, but it's all together, one nice big piece. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stain this, seal it, and then we're gonna strap it to the bottom, from the bottom up. That way the top is intact. Measured my opening for my doors. I went and cut the rails and the stiles for the door. You can see I already pre-drilled it so I can put my pocket holes in. Now just to frame it up, screw it together, and then I'll have my face for my doors. Complete that times 2. So I have both doors, and then I'm going to build the back the same way I built the top. Is just put the slats together, and then I'm going to pocket hold those together and then screw them, or actually probably nail them to the front of this so it'll be twice as thick, so it'll actually have the width of a 2x4. And when I close it, it'll be flush. It'll look great. Spectacular. There we go. That's with both doors installed now. I had to sand a little bit to make sure that I had a tiny bit of gap between the 2 doors to allow for expansion, but they're in. Now I just need to work on the backs. Like I said, the same way I did the top, I'm just going to put the backs together and then connect them to the front, and we'll have both panels. So now that I have the frames built, I have the back of the frame, put it all together, went ahead and pilot holed it all. Got that little one offset, and then when I'm done, the pilot holes will actually be covered up by the frame. It'll fit nice and perfect. So the pilot holes of the frame will be facing the pilot holes of the rear, and I don't have to cover any of them. And then I'm just going to go ahead and finish nail the front to the back along with some glue, and we'll be all set. Add the other half of the X in. I need to nail that part in. Those are already cut here, and when I'm done, I'll show you the finished product. I got a 2x4 and cut just a small piece, put the top on, and then I measured on the inside and I glued each one of these on there. So now you can see that it's actually sticking up. It's on pretty tight. So once I push it down, this top is gonna set in nice and tight. Now the top is on. That's as tight as it's gonna get. And then what I'm gonna do is drive a screw through that 2x4 into the side here, into the second 2x4, and that's gonna secure the top to the bottom, and then we're done. What I didn't show was that I finished painting it. I painted it a farmhouse white. I finished both doors and added the hardware to it also. Finish painting the inside, the detail on the sides here, and then I'll be done. And then of course put the doors on, and we're all set. And here is the finished product. Just went ahead and finished the doors, finished painting. Also painted everything on the inside, so I don't have to deal with that later. Same thing here. Nice looking finish on the inside also. Painted. It's all set. The only thing I need to do now is to put just to attach a latch up here on the top so that the doors can lock in place, and then you have to pull them to open them. Other than that, it is all done. That one, this door sticks a little bit, so I might have to sand it a little. But nice finished top. Couple coats. I stained it and then put a couple coats of shellac lacquer, just a clear Minwax lacquer. semi-gloss on the top. I put actually 3 coats of that on here. It's all set. That's it. That's all she wrote. Now to get it inside and put the tank on.